about representation and about rewriting what leadership looks like on our continent. The African Women Chartered Accountants has, from its inception in 2002, so this is our 24th year, played a pivotal role in unlocking leadership pathways for women. At a time when the profession lacked representation at senior levels, AWCA stepped in to create visibility, community, and opportunity. The story of AWCA began because a seed was planted by our First Lady then, Mam Zanele Mbeki. She requested one of her auditors, Ms. Zodwa Manasseh, to go to Parliament and bring like 10 African women chartered accountants. And it was like impossible for her to find these women. They were not able to bring enough women to Parliament, African women chartered accountants to Parliament. And it looks like there was an issue. It's either we don't see them, we can't find them, or they don't exist. So the 4 African women chartered accountants that formed AWCA decided they're going to group together and form this organization because there might be a pipeline issue and we need to figure it out as women and we understand each other. So they started with a simple task. The ask was, go back to your school, where they've been in the rural areas, where they've been in the townships, where they've been in the urban area, go back and talk to the kids about the profession, talk to the kids about being a CA and black and representation so that they see what a chartered accountant looks like. And that was the journey of the AWCA, and 24 years later, we are still here. Actually, one of our past presidents, Ms. Mabala Manyama, is on the panel with me today. And she's been very pivotal in ensuring the sustainability of the organization. So through our 3-tier strategy of identifying, these are school-going students who aspire to potentially be CAs, and bringing them the information about chartered accountancy, and nurture, which is about honing the ones that are at student level. At universities, we have student chapters, and then the lead tier, which is about creating leaders for South Africa. So we have all these different programs to support all these different tiers. We have built platforms where women are not only seen, but supported, where ambition is not questioned, but nurtured, and where leadership is not reserved for a few, but made possible for many. Today, the legacy continues. Through our bursary fund, mentorship programs, leadership development initiatives, and strategic partnerships, AWCA is intentionally building a pipeline of women who are equipped, confident, and ready to lead. We're not just preparing women for the next role, we are preparing them to shape industries, to influence policy, and drive meaningful change. But beyond programs and structures, there are 3 things that I believe sit at the heart of the journey, which is self-belief, representation, and community. And in community, I mean your networks. We create a sisterhood in AWCA. Self-belief is often the first barrier we must overcome. Many talented, capable women sit in rooms where they question whether they belong there, even when they have earned their place. I have experienced this myself. And I remember a moment in my own journey, a defining shift in mindset. Early in my career, I often felt that I needed to prove myself before I could speak, before I could lead, before I could take up space. I believe that leadership was something you stepped into only once you felt completely ready. But over time, I realized something powerful. You don't need to wait to feel ready. You grow into readiness by stepping forward. That shift from waiting to stepping forward changed everything for me. It changed how I showed up, how I contributed, and how I led. And that is why representation matters so deeply. Because when you see someone who looks like you, who has walked a similar path, it expands what you believe is possible for yourself. Representation is not just symbolic, it is transformational. But even more powerful than representation is community. Because while representation shows you what is possible, community helps you sustain the journey. AWCA has built a community of women who support one another, who share knowledge, who open doors and who stand together, especially in rooms where we may be the only ones. And in my industry, especially in the investment industries, hedge funds, private equity, sometimes you are the only one in the room. And this is where the theme Give to Gain truly comes to life. At AWCA, we believe deeply in the principle of lifting as we rise. We understand that our success is not diminished when we support others, it is amplified. Every time we mentor, every time we sponsor, every time we create an opportunity for another woman, we are strengthening the profession as a whole. We are building a legacy where the next generation of women will not have to fight some of the battles. A legacy where leadership is diverse, inclusive, and reflective of the society we serve. And so, my message today is simple. Do not underestimate the power of your journey. Do not wait for permission to lead. And do not walk this path alone. It's just too hard. Give up your knowledge, give up your time, give up your voice, because in doing so, you will not only change someone else's trajectory, you will transform your own. That is impact. And together, we will continue to build a profession that is stronger, more inclusive, and full of possibility. Thank you very much.